Good morning. Just want to let everybody know that CSI Linux 2021.2 beta has just been released. If you did want to beta test it, one of the easiest ways to do it would be going to CSILinux.com and then going to the download section. Once you're at the download section, go down all the way to the bottom, and then you should see this little command link right here. Just copy it, and this, or you can type it in, but copying does prevent potential fat fingering. So this is going to wget a script, and then this is going to output the script to shell. So it tries to make it as easy or simple as you possibly can get, but you need to put it into command line. So right now I'm going to paste it in and then hit enter. If this is the first time you've run it, this will take a little bit of time. This is also a way to keep up to date with the CSI tools, things in that area, any of the updates that we're currently working on. So kind of think of this as a bleeding edge update. But as soon as I hit enter, it's going to download the script, and then now it's running the script. Because the script is going to also update the Linux distro, along with adding a bunch of new tools and the new CSI tools and content as well, I'm going to go ahead and put in the password for sudo. And if it's a default installation, the password is going to be CSI. And just go and hit enter. And then it's going to go through the installation process. This can take a long time, especially depending on what your internet speed is. There's a lot of different variables here. That's why it says we'll take a little bit of time. Go get a bite to eat, take a vacation. If you have not updated your system, or if you're doing a fresh install of CSI Linux 2021.1, this may take about an hour. So just be patient, let it finish. I'll go ahead and hit OK here, and just wait till it's done. And I'm going to do a quick time lapse, because this, again, can take a little bit of time. Okay, now that the installation is complete, you now should see some extra content in the Linux menus. So then under CSI, we'll go and double left click. Do apologize, make that a single left click. Then we're going to just take a look at some of the updates in the content. So of course we have the good old start case. This has actually had some major upgrades. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. Under OSINT Online Investigations, we have domain, and now we have file searches for domains. A few extra tools in here, as you can see. Separated the email OSINT, added a couple extra tools. We have phone information, SOCMINT or social media intelligence, OSINT frameworks. It added a couple tools, tracking and social engineering to try to identify potential suspects. Under secure comms, we have added a Signal and Telegram. Under encryption, we did separate it out a little bit for online and remote password attacks. We have encryption tools. And then we have offline password cracking. The biggest reason we've kind of visually separated these two, so you know that there is definitely a difference. But again, online is you need the password in a dictionary and the user, where with offline, it is just going to be the hash. So you already have that information. If you need to build a dictionary or a customized dictionary, separated that out as well, and same as Stego tools. Within the incident response, we broke that out as well. In network forensics, we have system security analysis and anti-malware. We have malware reverse engineering section and memory forensics section. And disk forensics, this is kind of a really important one to separate out too. We have forensic disk imagers. These would make a forensic image or be able to convert forensic images into other image types. And then we have data recovery imagers. These are slightly different. They still do disk images, but they're primarily focusing on potentially damaged or failing hard drives, especially if they have bad sectors, where forensic imagers would probably fail during the image. We have file recovery section now, file analysis. Then under mobile, again, we have little support for Android and iOS, SIGINT section, and then a new section altogether for virtualization. So these virtual environments are not installed right now, but they're links to the installer and runner. So if you run it for the first time, it's going to download and install either VirtualBox, VMware Player, or the KVM environment. Because VirtualBox and VMware Player, those are higher level hypervisors, they usually work a little bit better than you would with KVM unless you have virtualization support in the CPU. If you're running this within a virtual machine, you would need to enable the option for virtualization to pass through the virtual machine into the environment for KVM to run properly. Once you do, KVM is a great lower-end virtual or hypervisor, and a lot of data centers use it. But this does open up a lot of the opportunities for, especially if you're doing reverse engineering, being able to put in either your malware into a better sandbox or a virtual machine, or have other virtual machines that you can be running. You can run that right inside CSI Linux now. So a couple more upgrades we have with the start case. You double click on it, run it. It's checking for dependencies. Looks like all the dependencies are met. We have the start case section, which we'll get to here in just a second. We have system management, and with system management, it has it for just a graphic interface to either do the full-blown Linux upgrade or the tools upgrade, which is basically what we just did. It'll grab that content. We also have general case management section. Here, we have the opportunity to run the application for the API that we built. So that supports a couple dozen different APIs for some of the tools that we have installed within CSI Linux. It'll help either create the config file for you, for example, like with Spiderfoot, or it'll put it into tools like ReconNG. So it just saves you a little bit of time, effort, and it's trying to, or it's putting the work into basically standardizing the API section. You can actually move case folder if you need to. The reason why you might do this is you no longer want it into your the user folder, like for example the /home /CSI/cases. You might want it onto a network drive or an external drive, but in most cases you just keep it there. You also have the ability to edit agency information. This is part of the report building. So when you edit agency information, relatively straightforward. Right now is just a simple text file with the agency or variables and value pairs. Just going to close out of here. I'm going to exit out of this one. As far as the Tor portion, we have it to where we have our Tor VPN, which is also located at the very bottom here. We also have, if you are going to be pushing it through Wonix instead of using the internally built Tor VPN, that's definitely an option. You would just need to install the Wonix gateway, get it up and running, and you can basically reconfigure the network within the virtual machine to route everything through Wonix. You can also go down to this section where the little arrow right next to the Tor VPN, and then run CSI Gateway here too. For those that were wanting the Tor browser put back into CSI Linux, we did do that. So to save space within the environment, it is not fully installed yet. However, you can install it just by running this. Once it's installed, it'll automatically run the Tor browser. To put that into perspective too, we're also putting together a resources starting page, and then that's going to be the starting page for Chrome, Firefox, and the Tor browser. As far as crypto wallets, we do have the offline version of Armory wallet. That's for a lot of investigations that do require an offline, especially if you're seizing evidence this way. We also have Exodus. Exodus is an online wallet which supports a lot more cryptocurrencies than Armory does. And then crypto legacy search, or currency ledger search. Excuse me. And it supports now a lot more than it had in the past. Before it was just for Bitcoin. Now we do support a lot more of the cryptocurrencies. So going back to the very beginning for case management, let's just start a basic simple case. Shows, do you want to open an existing case or a new case? Right now we don't have an existing case we're going to put anything into, so let's start a new case. Now I'm going to do investigator name. Case, we're just going to put OSINT. Client name, CSI Linux. And enter the case. I'm just going to put it case 001. Go and hit OK. And what this does is it's going to create the case folder for everybody. So we have case 001 right here. It creates the default folder template and also adds information into the case info text, which is that information that we just put together. And this is going to be part of the report. So if you want to build a generic report, this right here, it says generate report template for case. Once you hit OK, it's going to be grabbing a template from within the templates folder, and then is effectively taking apart the dox file and then replacing the variables with the content that was in the agency document and also that case info text, and then puts those or replaces the variables within that template, puts it in the report, fills it out for you. So now you have a nice base case report. And of course you can change this all you want as far as the template side. Just be careful about changing the variable names, because if you add any extra characters to it, then it's not going to know how to search and replace. But then after the content's replaced, it combines it back into a docx file and then allows you to edit. So go to close out of here. So we still have the Manage APIs in the case management menu. We have the social media intelligence. This is always being updated. But within here, we have username, phone number. Has a couple of different tools that were in the CSI Linux menu. Twitter information gathering, same things, using a couple different tools. You can boot up Maltego, and you can the same on the bottom side on the taskbar. Push up Spiderfoot. The Bitcoin wallet, this will be renamed, but this is the cryptocurrency ledger lookup. Of course, we have Hidden Eye, adult website search, hashtag search. So go and exit out of here. Again, these tools are constantly being modified and updated, so you might see different features next time you do your update. So now we'll go to domain OSINT. Same thing. We have sublister and harvester to try to find potential subdomain names. We also have dcloud, which tries to identify past IP addresses associated to a domain, and it also tries to identify subdomain names. We have a special script for trying to grab all the links from a specific web page, because that sometimes can be an issue or important. We do have MetaGoofill. We will be tying that into an additional tool as well. So we'll have multiple file grabbing utilities. We do have mirroring capability with httrack. And with httrack, we have the web httrack and then a custom script to run httrack, which just goes through the whole process of putting in the domain name, things in that area, then tries to mirror the website. Let's go and cancel here real quick. Go back to the page we're currently at. As far as the website screen grab, that's a utility we built to basically replace Eyewitness. Same basic mechanics in the back end. You point it to a specific page, and then it actually generates an image based off that page. So you have a thumbnail and a full-blown image. So as far as dark web investigation, same basic principle. We have working with the Tor, either use Tor VPN or Gateway. run the Tor browser. We have search engine capability to where we can look for specific keywords within at least the Tor network. And then, of course, onion share. If you're doing certain types of investigation where you do need to share things with either an informant or other case individuals. We have built the capability of making a logical copy of some of the mobile devices, whether it be either Android or iOS. Again, that's still in the works as well, trying to build more capability for the mobile portion of CSI Linux. We also have created an application for mounting a forensic image or virtual machine disk. This specific application, again, is growing, but at least currently, it's first time it's being run. It's just making sure the dependencies are met. And then it's going to ask you what kind of image you want to be able to mount. And that's going to give you the capability of, let's say, doing a VMDK file and then getting access to it like you would a normal hard drive or DD image. So the image mounter can be useful, especially if you're trying to identify if there's malware within that disk. It is an issue when you're doing with computer forensics. Of course, you never mount the original drive. To investigate it, you always want to work on a copy. And sometimes the copy is not in a format that is useful for all your tools. This helps bridge that gap. Okay, so it looks like it just finished popping up. So again, you can see you can mount a raw DD image. That's a basic raw DD copy. You can have an EO1, and EO1 is it's expert witness format, but that's what NCase uses quite a bit. We have virtual disk images, which again could be VMDK, VHI, those type of images. And we can also mount a good old ISO. And last but not least, just the basic management, so you have it in multiple areas. We have case folder. Again, use that with caution. Edit report generator variables. That's going to be your case or agency information. And then, of course, generate report template. But yeah, outside that, please let us know if you have any ideas, comments, concerns. And we're always looking for ideas on how to improve this environment. Enjoy.